Cozy interiors are all about layering, and that's why I want to add a console table just right here behind the sofa. I had a little table behind the sofa in my old house, and it's perfect to put art on because I don't really like drilling holes in the walls because I like to keep adding to my interior and changing and going with the seasons. So a little table, a little ledge behind the sofa is perfect to put art on and plants and things you want to keep changing around with the seasons. The table is going to sit in this 15 centimeter gap here. The lid of the table is going to rest on the sofa and the back is going to be here. It's going to be squished in between the wall and the sofa. And as this table's not supposed to be freestanding, but it's going to be squished in, it is super easy to make. If you've been on my channel before, you know what I always say, why buy when you can make it yourself, and why buy new materials when you already have stuff lying around the house you can use. So I look in the garage and I found this plank. It's too thick for what I would ideally use. It's 32 millimeters, and I would rather have a plank like this one, which is 20 millimeters. But this is the only one I have that is the right length, well, roughly right length. This is the one we're going to use. So I just cut all my timber, and my legs are going to be the height of the sofa, which is 69 centimeters. And I made them 10 centimeters wide. The plank I'm using is 15 centimeters wide, so I have a little bit of overhang on one side. On the other side, I have a bit of space for the skirting board. And the good thing is, because this table is behind the sofa, it really doesn't matter what kind of timber you use for the legs. I used an old wardrobe door, which is a plywood of 18 millimeters. And as you can see, it's painted on one side, but it doesn't really matter. I have another one here, which is a leftover from a bench I built, also painted, but that is fine because you're not going to see it. The only piece I'm going to see is the end bit. The end bit that's on the outside of the sofa, and I'm going to use this plain bit of plywood for that, not the colored bits. But all the other pieces, it really doesn't matter. I made 4 legs in total, and now we're going to space these evenly over the plank. So there will be one on the end here, one on the other end, and then 2 in the middle. I want the leg to sit on 1.5 centimeters from the back end, so this is just for the space for the skirting board. It will sit here. I'm just gonna gently mark that so I know where to drill 2 holes. I used a 5 millimeter drill bit for the hole. I'm using an 8 millimeter drill bit just to make the top a little bit wider, so the screw would fall in there and it's easy for me to put a little bit of filler up, and then we can't see the screw anymore. And then we're gonna glue and screw the pieces together. So you apply wood glue on the top of the leg. Put it in place and screw together. And now you just have to do the same for the other leg. So pre-drill, glue and screw in place. I just put a chair behind my console table, just in case it is a bit wobbly, because it's going to be squashed in between the sofa and the wall. These legs are just to hold the weight of the top. It's not for stability. If you want to make this a freestanding console table, all you have to do is get a long bit of timber and screw it in all this way over the legs, and then you have a very sturdy table. You can even do it here, just underneath here. That'll make a nice front as well, and you get a really nice sturdy table. But mine is going to be wedged in, so I don't need to bother. Okay, back to those holes. I'm using a bit of filler. This one is from Coat. It's an interior filler, and it's perfect for wood and for walls, and you can also paint over. And as I'm going to stain my table, it's a good idea to use a filler that you can easily stain or paint over. I'm going to let this dry. And then it's time for stain. You can also just leave the wood as it is or paint it to go with your interior. But I'm staining it the same color as that I used on the TV stand. And this is where my microphone stopped working, but as you can see I made another smaller table because I want to go around the corner for my corner sofa. Made in exactly the same way, a top bit of timber with one leg this time, and I'm gonna attach them together with a furniture plate. I'm gonna give the table a good wipe down. I'm gonna let the stain dry for a few hours because I really don't want to risk the stain staining my sofa as well. So I might pop it in place tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm so pleased I got my console table back, because like I said I had in the previous house and I really missed something here to put my cup of tea or coffee on, and some books and some art and some flowers. It just adds a bit of extra layering into the room, which helps with the coziness, with the cozy feel in your living room. And if you are a complete DIY novice, this is a really good build for you, because there's nothing really that can go wrong. The only thing you have to do, and make sure you do it really well, is measure the height of your table, so you know how long the legs need to be, because the legs need to be the height of the table minus the thickness of the wood you're going to use on top. And that's all that's very important. Doesn't matter what kind of timber you use for the legs. As you saw, I use lots of offcuts because it's all hidden behind the sofa anyway, and if it's wobbly, doesn't matter either, because it's wedged in between the wall and the sofa. That is a great project if you want to start a bit of woodwork, making some furniture for your own house. You can get away with loads with this build. Just make sure the wood you use on top is a nice looking timber, like the one I used over here. If you enjoyed this video, please have a look at all the other videos here on the Handmade Home channel, and I really hope to see you again soon.